Okay, now in this video, since we have sales tax turned on, we're going to go through how to set up sales tax items and groups in QuickBooks. So first of all, they don't have a separate list for sales tax items. This is just going to be on your items list. Okay. Generally, when you look at your items list, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, that's where we start to see our sales tax items. All right. Now, sales tax items and groups. So what's the difference? So in a city like Austin, as an example, we have a tax rate of, let's say, 8%. I'm just going to throw a number out there so it's easy to do the math. Okay, the state requires us to pay them directly 6%. The city requires us to pay them 1%. And then the county requires us to pay them an additional 1%, right? So we have to break out when we are doing our filings for taxes which entities we owe different, and what tax we owe to those different entities. So the state, the city, and the county. Okay. So a lot of people keep sales tax very simple. They just say, hey, I'm just going to charge 8.5% and it's going to cover everybody, and that's that. All right. But if you want to do it more accurately, and the way that the state wants it to be happening, you have to set up what we call a sales tax group. Okay. So again, if we're just going to say 8.25 or 8.5%, etc., we can just set up one sales tax item. So you can see here, I'm going to set a sales tax item. I say a new item. It's for sales tax. Let's say it's, Dallas tax as an example for now. 8.5%. Who do I pay? I pay the Texas comptroller. Okay, so that's really important again, because sometimes with sales tax, there are different entities that you have to cut checks to, especially if you're dealing with multiple states, right? So I might pay the Texas comptroller for Dallas. I'm in Oklahoma, I might be paying the Oklahoma comptroller. So you want to make sure that you choose the appropriate vendor there. But if it's just a solo item like that, right, I can just have 8.5%. Okay. Now, if we're required to break it out into different jurisdictions, then what we want to do is we want to set up each individual sales tax item and then add them to what we call a sales tax group. So using the example that we just came up with, I'm going to go ahead and say that I have a sales tax item for Texas state. Again, these percentages are not correct, right? I'm just throwing out numbers. So 6%, and we pay the Texas comptroller for that. Okay. Then I'm going to create a new item again for sales tax, and I'm going to say City of Austin, and it's 1%. And again, we still pay the comptroller. Then I'm going to create another one. I hit next there this time instead of having to do new again. Then I'm going to create another one for Travis County. Okay, again, and that's 1%, and we pay the Texas comptroller. Okay, so now I have the individual items set up in there. Now I need to go set up, well, usually it's by the county, but now I'm going to go set up my sales tax group for Austin. All right, and usually, again, this is by the county. So, but in my group now, so I'm going to call it Austin ST. Then down below here, I add all the items that are part of this group, right? So I have my Texas state, I have my Travis County, and I have my City of Austin. So the total it adds up to there is going to be 8% that it's going to charge. But when I look at it on my reporting side, it's going to break out and say how much I owe to the state, the county, and the city. Okay. So again, check out our first video on how to set up sales tax codes. We do talk about an app in there that can help you with sales tax tracking. Everybody outsources their payroll nowadays. There's so many outsourcing payroll options, and sales tax, the rules are just insane by state to keep track of. So, of course, similar to payroll tax rules, right? So definitely worth taking a look at if this is something that you guys want to take ownership of, or if you want to use a service out there that will do your sales tax for you. All right. Okay, so those are sales tax items and groups.